Hi everyone, Namaskar and welcome to Curries with Bumbi. Today I will show you an Indian style scrambled tofu recipe. Usually this recipe is followed using paneer, but it tastes equally good using tofu. So let's cook tofu bhurji today, where bhurji means scrambled in Hindi. Okay, so as I do in all my tofu recipes, I discarded the water that comes in the package, rinsed the tofu under tap water, then wrapped it in paper towels and put a weight on top for about 15 minutes to get rid of that excess water. After that, I unwrapped the tofu. Next, I will be making a cream using some of this tofu. So I cut about 1/4 part from this block. I added that to my blender jar. I had also soaked about 10 unroasted cashew nuts in some hot water for about an hour. If you do not have a powerful blender, then soak the cashew nuts overnight. Add about 1/3 of a cup of water and blend to a very smooth paste. And your very healthy tofu and cashew cream is ready. Okay, for all my other tofu recipes, I always tell you to handle the tofu with a lot of love and care. But for this particular recipe, Bumbi is for once defying all her gentle handling rules and telling you to crumble the tofu. But guys, that doesn't mean that you will happily crumble it to a paste. It should still have some texture to it, and we are not making some mashed up tofu recipe today. Next, I will make the spice paste. In a bowl, add Kashmiri red chili powder. Or you can even use cayenne pepper or sweet paprika if you want to avoid the heat. Then turmeric powder, ground coriander, and garam masala powder. Add about 2 to 3 tablespoons of water, mix, and your spice paste is ready. I have also chopped some green beans, non-stick pan, medium heat. I added just a drop of oil. Once the oil heats up, add the green beans. Add about 2 tablespoons of water and immediately cover the pan for a few minutes so that the beans get steamed. After that, uncover, add a sprinkle of salt and wait for all that moisture to evaporate. Usually no vegetables are added while making paneer bhurji, but I feel the crunchiness from the green beans pairs up so well with the soft tofu. You can even use asparagus or bell peppers. I usually like to taste one to check. It should be tender but still have a little bit of bite to it. But be very careful guys, as it is very hot. Okay, my beans are done, so I took them out in a bowl. I added oil in that same pan. You can even use ghee or butter or whatever your heart desires. Once the oil starts to shimmer, I added cumin seeds, that is also known as jeera. Toast the seeds a little bit, making sure that they do not turn black. Then add chopped onions. Stir the onions on medium-high heat for a few minutes till they just start to soften down a bit. Then add chopped tomatoes. Add a sprinkle of salt to help the tomatoes to soften down and stir on medium-high heat till the tomatoes become mushy. Okay, so the tomatoes have become pulpy. I broke a green chili and added it, but guys, I'm telling you this is not at all a good idea. Since we are using green beans, the green chili gets camouflaged with the green beans. And it will be quite an episode if you unexpectedly bite onto it thinking it to be a green bean. So always chop the green chilies finely before adding. I also added the spice paste. Stir everything on medium heat now, as you do not want the spices to burn. Okay guys, then I suddenly realized that I just forgot to add the grated ginger and garlic. Please add them once your onions soften down, that is before adding the tomatoes. I completely forgot to add them, but that's okay. As long as you fry them for a few minutes to get rid of that raw smell, it's totally fine to add at this stage as well. Then I used something that is never used in Indian cooking, that is dried thyme. Now you must be thinking, is something wrong with Bumbi today? She said it is an Indian style recipe and now she is using thyme. Well, you can add kasuri methi if you choose to, but once I ran out of kasuri methi and then I added dried thyme and it turned out so good, so I thought I must share this with my viewers. I sometimes go wild when it comes to experimenting with food. Okay, then I added a splash of water and salt. Then scrambled tofu enters the pan. I again added a splash of water. You do not want this curry to be too dry, nor do you want it to be too soupy. You need that right amount of liquid that can bring everything together. Now it's time for that gorgeous tofu and cashew cream to bring in magic to this dish. I added about 4 tablespoons of water to my blender jar to rinse out all that blender jar goodness till the last drop. Now look at that beauty. Immediately the color changes to something that looks so silky and glossy and luscious. It's really surprising how just blending simple tofu and some cashew nuts can bring in such creaminess to the dish. Stir for a few minutes. Then cover it on low heat for about 3 minutes so that the tofu soaks up all that spice goodness. Do a taste test at this point. I felt the need to add a little bit of sweetness to balance the flavor, so I added sugar. Finally, a generous amount of coriander leaves. You can add any herb according to your preference. And you must be thinking, has Bumbi forgotten about the green beans? No, my friends, I haven't. Add the green beans at the very end or else they will turn soggy. And finally, I like to sign off the dish with a dash of lemon juice to add a note of freshness. And look at this deliciousness. Scrambling doesn't mean that tofu will be losing its identity. You can still make out all the elements here. The little specks of red from those tomatoes, the green beans, and that elegant tofu cream is bringing everything together and embracing all the elements with its own elegance. Serve this with rice or roti or toasted bread, and please send me your feedback after trying this recipe. Please do leave a comment for me as I love reading them and your comments inspire me so much. Bye bye.